They've never shared a border. They've never signed a peace deal. But for over 40 years, Israel and Iran have waged a shadow war, fought with spies, drones, assassinations, and missiles. Now, the world fears it may erupt into something far worse. But what caused this conflict between two powerful nations? What made diplomacy impossible and war inevitable? To understand this, we have to go back, not to last year, not to the last airstrike, but to 1979. Before that, Iran and Israel weren't enemies. They were allies. Iran was ruled by the Shah, a Western-backed monarch who maintained close military and economic ties with Israel. Weapons, oil, intelligence. They worked together, quietly. Then came the Iranian Revolution. Millions of Iranians, fed up with dictatorship and foreign control, overthrew the Shah. And in his place came Ayatollah Khomeini, a religious leader who transformed Iran into an Islamic republic. Overnight, Israel went from ally to enemy. Khomeini called Israel a Zionist regime and declared its existence illegitimate. Iran cut all ties, burned Israeli flags, and vowed support for Palestine, not just with words, but with weapons. Iran began funding groups that opposed Israel. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, Islamic Jihad in the West Bank. To Israel, this wasn't politics. It was war. Iran wasn't just speaking out against Israel. It was training, funding, and arming the groups attacking it. And Israel responded. In 1982, Israeli forces invaded Lebanon to dismantle Iranian-backed militias. In the decades that followed, Israeli airstrikes targeted Hezbollah commanders. Iranian generals were assassinated in Syria. Nuclear scientists were killed in Tehran. And still, the conflict deepened. But the center of this Cold War has always been one issue: nuclear weapons. Iran says it wants nuclear energy for peaceful purposes. Israel says that's a lie. And for years, Israel has taken every step to stop Iran from getting the bomb. In 2009, the world discovered Iran's secret nuclear facilities. In 2010, the Stuxnet virus, believed to be built by Israeli and American intelligence, sabotaged Iran's centrifuges. And then the assassinations began. At least 5 Iranian nuclear scientists were killed, many in broad daylight. Iran responded with threats, drone strikes, cyber attacks, and by tightening its grip on regional militias. It armed Hezbollah with thousands of missiles pointed at Israel. It sent operatives into Syria, Iraq, and Lebanon. It vowed revenge over and over again. But in 2015, a window opened: the Iran nuclear deal. World powers, including the U.S., signed an agreement with Iran. Stop enriching uranium, allow inspections, and sanctions would be lifted. Israel hated the deal. Its leaders called it dangerous. And in 2018, the U.S. pulled out under pressure. After that, everything unraveled. Iran ramped up enrichment. Israel ramped up strikes. Covert warfare turned into open confrontation. Iranian drones entered Israeli airspace. Israeli airstrikes hit deep into Syria and Iraq. In 2024, an Iranian consulate in Syria was bombed, killing senior officials. Iran responded with a barrage of missiles, many intercepted, but some got through, and the world held its breath. These are not two small factions fighting over fence. These are nuclear-capable nations with allies on every side of the map. One wrong move, one miscalculation, could ignite the region and beyond. But what really caused this war between Israel and Iran? It wasn't one battle. It wasn't one bomb. It was ideology. It was fear. It was a belief that the other cannot exist. Iran's leadership views Israel as an occupying regime. Israel sees Iran as an existential threat, not just to itself, but to the entire region. And in the middle, millions of civilians. Families in Tel Aviv waking to sirens. Children in Tehran fearing foreign drones. A region trapped in a war it never chose. Israel and Iran may never fight a traditional war with tanks and trenches. But make no mistake, the war is already here. In the shadows, in cyberspace, in the skies. Until the world chooses diplomacy over destruction. Until leaders value peace more than power. This war will never end. Because war doesn't always start with armies. Sometimes it starts with fear, with silence, with history that's never healed. Two great nations, one long war, and a future that still hangs in the balance.